standard system landscape in SAP. So landscape or system landscape is the platform for the development, platform for development of SAP application. So it started with the development, then it goes through the quality, and after that it goes through the production system. It is mentioned the first system in the landscape is the development system. The second system is itself the quality assurance system, and the third we can call it production system. So we discussed yesterday in one implementation cycle, there is one thing. There is one team from the SAP service company, team one, SAP service providing company, SAP services team, and there is second team, team two, team client. So after the project preparation, the initial phases, we go through the business blueprint and then we start the work for the realization. So for BBP and for the realization, we can say after realization. In realization, the first thing that we do is nothing but the development of the application itself. So here, what they have one dummy server. They have one dummy server where they prepare one thing that we call before realization. There is one thing dummy server. So they prepare BBP, business blueprint. We call them to be business process. In future, the process will be looks like that we can see in the dummy servers. After that, there are sandbox servers, quality servers, or production servers. So one by one, we will see everything here. Sandbox server. So in the initial stages of any implementation project, we have one sandbox server where we can do all the configuration, where we can do all the settings. Configuration means to set something. To set something, we can call it setting also, and sometimes we call it customization also. There is one platform, there is one server. We call that server as the sandbox server. As per the requirement of the client team, after the initial preparation, after the initial discussion with the client team, we come to one point where we know what to do. So that thing we do here in the sandbox server, the configuration or setting or customization of the things in one kind of real time but not actual server. After creating the initial objects here, we go through the second server that we call development server. So once the BBP gets signed off, BBP are what? BBPs are the business blueprints. So once everything is okay and client say yes, we are going with you. So BBP will be signed off and the configuration will be done in the development server. And here all the data, all the settings will be saved in one workbench request to be transported to the production, but not directly to the production. In between, there is something that we call quality servers. Quality servers. So we can say after the sign off of the business blueprints, we develop everything in this development server. Even there is one thing, we transport the initial. What we do here, we transport the initial data object. From where we can transfer? Obviously, we have the data in the Sandbox server, so we can transfer the data from there. Transport the input data objects. Input data objects from SS Sandbox server to DS development server. So whatever we do here, for example, 5 to 10%, so it can be transported from Sandbox server to the development server. Now, things are transporting as well as we are also developing plus new development. New development. Nearly 10 to 70% work will be done here, and remaining 10 to 20% will be done like here in the production server. So once all the things, all the data objects are created or transported from anywhere, then those things will be tested. Those things will be tested here in the quality servers. For example, one functional consultant is there doing MM thing. Second is there doing sales and distribution things. Now we are calling that data here, and together we are doing what? We are doing the system integration testing. System integration testing we call it. And in this testing we check either the data from one module is triggered in the other module or not. So integration testing, and after that like combined testing of the application will be done here, but not completely because still one step is remained. You see, two kind of data are there. So here we are talking about the data that is the real time of data. Real time of data means real time data means we call it client data. Client data. We know very well if we are going to develop one application for the customer client. So obviously client is doing one real time of business. Relating to that business, data is there. So that data will be transported to the production server, and the application will be go live. Any changes, any modification can be done later on, and development we can done later on, the new development. So again, what is one system landscape? It is just one platform for the development of SAP ERP application. So things goes through the development, then quality, then through the production. So customization, unit testing, then creation in the Sandbox server. After that, again testing of the integration testing, and we can say the transfer of the data from one server to the other server. Okay, now we are moving further. Yes, that is very important to understand here. Yesterday we covered few things about it. So that application we are going to study, we are going to train for, that is known as SAP S4 HANA for the data processing. So SAP systems, applications and product business suite. That is the complete name of the application. Business suite for HANA, HANA. High performance analytics data processing. Business suite for HANA. So that application is basically made for the cloud system. Mainly cloud system is of two types. First is private cloud, second public cloud. Public cloud. So there are many companies who are basically having the data centers. They have the data centers, they have the hardware. So through their data centers, what they are doing, they have the connectivity over the internet, data centers on the internet through the hardware or software systems. So if there is one client in the market, client is having license. Client is having the license like for using the data centers. In public cloud, client does not pay the money, does not pay the fee directly for the data centers only, but for all things. So here, if one client is having one kind of like cloud system as private. So as private system at its own premise, at its own premise means very simple example. If that company is having headquarter maybe at Mumbai, at Mumbai, it has many firms all around the like India. So there is like head office headquarter at Mumbai. So client would insist to have its private cloud at this location. Authorization, access can be given only to the internal team. Internal team means the employees working at the site of this client. Access, authorization, responsibilities will be given to the internal. Now about public cloud. There is one company in the market. That company has done one task. That task is relating to the like data centers plus hardwares plus application itself, the SAP S4 HANA. One more thing is there, that is relating to the database system, database systems. So everything will be providing by the service providing company. So there will be one service providing company, and you can take one service as software, software as a service, software as a service. In short, we call it SaaS system. Very simple. Now, I'm just taking you all on one thing. Come here. Private cloud. Private cloud. The cloud infrastructure is operated exclusively for an organization. Whatever the system we have, there is one cloud system, see as first. Okay, we develop that cloud system only exclusively for one organization. It may be managed by the organization or a third party and may exist on premise or off premise. So now it depends on the organization. It is managing its own cloud by its team or giving access to the third party. Second, it should have it on premise means at its own location or at any other location. It offers greater level of privacy with limited scalability. Means only one or two organizations can use this private cloud system. Second, if we talk about second kind of cloud system, that is public. So the cloud infrastructure is made available to the general public. General public means not that everyone can use it, but we are saying many clients can use the same cloud infrastructure or a large industry groups, organization group, and it can be owned by an organization selling cloud services. So there is one company like that industry, that organization is doing one thing, it is selling the cloud services. So high degree of scalability with potential privacy concerns. Like this, there are hybrid as well as community cloud system. Come with me, there is one topic to be covered. So if you talk about traditional landscapes, so application architecture, system softwares, database, operating systems, virtualization, servers, storage, network, everything will be owned by one company. Everything will be owned by one company, one organization. That is some kind of on-premise system, on-premise, on-premise. For example, there are two teams, team one, team two. In traditional landscapes, everything will be owned by the team two. We are only there to provide the consultancy relating to SAP. We are only there just to develop one application for the client and in return to get the charges to provide the service. Second, if you see software as a service, everything application is architecture, system software, database, operating systems, virtualization, servers, storage capacities, networks, application itself will be designed, developed, managed by the third party. Not the third party, we call them like service provider. Service provider. Now say this scenario, everything will be owned by this team. In software as a service, everything will be owned by this team one, but team two can do one thing, can take the access by paying the huge cost or one kind of license fee to use everything. And these are used at much great or like greater scale. One service providing company and many users. They are just paying the license fee and they are just using every service. So in between, if you see there is like infrastructure as a service, platform as a service. So in infrastructure as a service, virtualization, servers, storage, network will be provided by the service provider. Other things will be owned by the client team. In platform as a service, system software, database, operating system, all these things will be provided by the service provider. Only application architecture will be owned by the client. So if you see here like one hybrid cloud or community cloud. So sometimes we call them like moderate kind of cloud system. Okay. Okay, participants, we are here. Before starting the training in this batch, we need to discuss the roles and responsibilities of SME MM consultant in IT companies first. And after that, as an end user, what will be the jobs and responsibilities? We will discuss that thing also. So in IT companies, the first or the prime job, we have to do the implementation. Here, what we do, we work in a project team. In that project team, we have many other consultants also. And as per the requirement of the client, as per the need of the client, we try to do the realization, the actual implementation, we call it. So here we are doing the actual implementation or the realization after understanding the as is process. As is means the present business of the client is known as is process, and we are just going to give to be. In future, the business process will be indicated in the SAP application as to be. So as one implementation engineer or implementation consultant, our job responsibilities are very simple. Just to do the things to bring that ERP into reality and do the configuration, do the implementation. Okay, implementation, we can say configuring SAP MM module. Configure means we have already like discussed setting for what? For example, there is one company in the market has given one project to the company we are working in. Now, we are the part of one team. That team is working to develop that application. So Our project managers already know about the requirement of the customer and they have mentioned everything to us. So that company is working like at more than one location. Maybe it is having plant one, plant two like this, plant three, etc. So as SAP MM consultant, it is our duty to configure those plants in the SAP platform. After that, we need to create the master data. Master data is actually the main information, the central source of information relating to material, relating to vendor, relating to purchasing, relating to inventory. So we have the master data. We have the procurement cycle to be run on. We have the inventory management to be done. So this is how everything will be configured, everything will be everything will be set up. So that task come in the implementation and configuration of the SAP MM module. After that, the third job role, I would say, obviously testing and training. So if we are working here, like project preparation is done, business blueprint has already been done. Now we are in the realization. That thing we are doing at MM Consultant, we call it implementation, real time of configuration. After that, if you see the scenario, we are here in the final preparation phase. And I'm just discussing that thing here also because there is something we need to do. Final preparation of any SAP ERP is all about data migration. Again, I'm speaking about one data that is the real time of business data of the client. So that data is the first thing, massive data. Second thing, secret data of the client. So they don't just provide that data to the SAP service providing company directly, but they do one thing. They basically assign that task to their own employees. So they are with a team from the SAP service providing company, and they are doing one thing. They are migrating that massive and secret data into the SAP system. So here we have one task with data migration and user training and user trainings. So if there is one team from the SAP service providing company and there is second team, let us consider there are 10% who are involved in the procurement, inventory, master data creation. So as the SAP MM consultant working in team 1, our duty is to train them, train all of them about SAP MM. So that we call end user training. So here we do two things in the testing and training. We perform the system testing to ensure that the SAP MM module is working as expected. Yesterday also, I have already spoken about one thing, unit testing. After that, there is one thing, SIT, system integration testing. Third thing, I would say UAT, user acceptance testing. User acceptance testing. Every testing will be everywhere in every module. So what we do, what we test for the MM data objects, user acceptance testing that we call UAT. Second, we provide the training to the end user that we have discussed. After that, in this phase, if you see one thing, after final preparation, after migrating data, real-time data into the system itself and the training of the end users, now application is ready. We are ready to go live. Go live means we can use the application. And if end users when end users use that software, end users use that application, so there are many issues. There are many issues, there are many problems. So we are there to provide the support to take those issues with greater care, and I can say to mitigate those problems, those errors. We provide the support. So support is one kind of project also, and second we have one job role to be done.